In a galaxy far, far away, on a small planet in the Outer Rim, you'll find Black Spire Outpost, a destination like no other at Disney. We all knew it was going to be epic, but how far was Disney going to go with all of the theming, the rides, the food? Today I'm reviewing all of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge from the first, second, and third time that I went into the land. Yes, technically I did go in 3 separate times. You could say that I went in 4 times because that second time was kind of doubled because I had 2 wristbands, but I'm gonna say we went in 3 times. Let's start first with the land itself, and it is massive. When I was first thinking about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, I was imagining Pandora World of Avatar, but just to the next level. This takes it beyond the next level. It is enormous. The buildings are enormous around you, the ships, the Millennium Falcon, as you walk underneath it and it's towering over you, it's unbelievable. It's not quite large enough for you to get lost in the land, but you can go over and over again and see something new every time. There are 3 entrances slash exits to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. They all feel rather similar as you step into the land, but as you step in, it's a very strange feeling, but you don't feel like you're in Disneyland anymore. When you first walk in, if you're like me, your mouth will be agape, taken aback by the attention to detail all around you, from the fencing, to the blaster marks on the buildings, to pieces of droids just hanging around, getting ready to be built. Every step that you take in the land, you get more and more immersed, and as you take that first right corner at Disneyland anyway, you'll see the First Order transport ship. When I first saw the ship on the map, I thought to myself, oh, that's cool, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I had no idea how large this ship was going to be. Kylo Ren himself walks out of the ship. That gives you the idea of how large this thing is. As you make your way further into Black Spire Outpost, you will see that the theming does not stop, not for a moment. Every building, every corridor, even the restrooms and utility doors for trash, even those are themed for Star Wars. You take another turn or two inside Black Spire Outpost and see the grand reveal, the Millennium Falcon, a ship that many of us have dreamed about for years, suddenly is larger than life, to scale, right in front of you. You can reach out and almost touch it. It takes a few minutes to process. It is that cool to see. I'm looking forward to spending even more time looking at every single detail of the Falcon. It's just incredible to see with your own eyes. When I was there were 3 PhotoPass photographers who are stationed in front of the Falcon. You actually have to stand in this line separate to the photographers, then the cast member kind of points you to the photographer and they start processing people through. It's actually a really quick line. Once you take tons of photos of the Falcon and you in front of the Falcon and those mountains behind you, it is so cool. You'll probably want to try your hand at flying it. That brings us to the first attraction and the only one that was open during our visit to Black Spire Outpost, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Walking through the queue line of Smuggler's Run is an experience in and of itself, simply because you get to interact with the land and the line with that datapad game on your phone. The datapad really does enhance your experience at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I tried it on multiple occasions and I do recommend playing it at least once when you're there. There are all sorts of functions that you can use with your datapad and collect different credits along the way. The datapad has several different features, including hack, scan, tune, and translate. The hack function allows you to hack into a device or a droid nearby and gain control of that panel for your team, whether it's the First Order or the Resistance. The scan function allows you to scan different crates and objects all around the land and see what's inside. You also get to collect what's inside for future use. We'll find out more about that in the future. Scan is my favorite function in the app at the time of filming. The Tune tool allows you to listen in on secret conversations around the land, like from Doc Ondor to Savi, see what's going on and dive deeper into the story. Last up, we have the Translate function that allows you to translate some text that you see in Black Spire Outpost into English so that you can read it. Because you see it up there, you have no idea what it means, you type it into the translator, and you can see something that says maybe caution above you. You can keep track of all of the items that you've scanned, the credits that you've earned, the different things that you've translated, missions that you've gone on in the game. That has to do with the map, and we'll go into those details in another video through the profile. There's a profile that kind of signifies which team you're a part of, and you can look at different outfits that you've acquired. When I was at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, I found out something very interesting. A cast member told me that you can use the credits that you earn in the game for free and use them to purchase something in real life. life. They were not sure how that was going to work, we're not sure what you can purchase, but the cast members were pretty confident that there was something you can purchase in real life using credits. Maybe it's 100,000 credits for a Disney pin, and that would make sense, but something that you can get in real life for playing the game. I'm sure we'll find out more soon. During our adventure, I scanned all sorts of different objects looking for materials, collecting as many as I could. I actually picked up Stormtrooper armor that I put on my character, which was really cool. One item that was very, very interesting is that I saw there was a trade function where you can trade something that you've collected to someone else. We'll see how that works in the future. The datapad game is awesome, but the queue line for Smuggler's Run, even without the datapad game, is super cool. The attention to detail in the hangar bay with that engine that kind of turns on and off and they're trying to fix it. The views of the Millennium Falcon, it is unlike anything I have seen before. You make your way through the queue and eventually meet Hondo Ohnaka, the greatest Disney animatronic that I have ever seen. Hondo welcomes you and gives you a general briefing, and as he's talking you can see through the window behind him ships flying around, and as the Millennium Falcon comes overhead, the entire room feels like it's shaking just a little bit with the vibration of the engines. It is so cool. Talk about an immersive experience. I totally forgot where I was when I was standing in that room just because of the noises and the vibrations around me. After a quick briefing with Hondo, you make your way down a small corridor to a cast member who's standing by. Sometimes there's a small line in there making your way to the cast member, but you meet them and then they'll grab a group of 6. If there's only 4 of you or 5 of you, they will grab a few individuals from the single rider line if there's anyone in the line at that moment, and there are 6 positions total: 2 pilots, 2 gunners, 2 engineers. I had the opportunity to try every single role in the Falcon, which I will dive into more detail about shortly, but you make your way past the cast member with that small card in hand, which is a color and your position, like pilot or gunner or engineer, and you basically walk onto the Falcon. Stepping on board the Falcon is an amazing experience. You walk in the circular hallways, the deck plates underneath, even above you, and walking all around is so cool. Take a few seconds to take it all in. You only have between maybe 60 and 90 seconds to look all around, so in that time, don't forget to take a photo behind that chess table. It is so cool. Eventually, they will call your color, and you're gonna have to stand up and go to the cast member. The cast member will call you over to one of the entrances of the Falcon, 2x2 style, with the 2 pilots in front, followed by the 2 gunners, and then the 2 engineers. You walk through another corridor, make your way to a small screen. Hondo will give you more information about your mission, then the door opens and you make your way on board the Millennium Falcon. It is an absolutely breathtaking experience, as if all of my childhood dreams just come true right there. I'm stepping on board the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. I can just keep saying that over and over again. Look around you as you walk in too. All of those buttons and switches can be moved, and they have a good feel to them, if you know what I mean. What I mean by that is that the buttons and switches feel like they really do have an action. You switch something and you're wondering what happened in the ship around you. It's not just kind of like a cheap plasticky, it really feels like they put a lot of work into the cockpit. Once you're in the Falcon, you take a seat, buckle up, and you're ready for takeoff. Now, all 3 positions in the Falcon have very specific tasks. The engineers who sit in the back row are responsible for fixing the ship if it takes any damage, and launching harpoons at different items. I don't want to ruin the story for you, so I'll just say items. The key to the engineer job is to be quick on those buttons. As soon as they start flashing, click them immediately. The faster you click those buttons, the more points you'll get. The gunner's job is the easiest in my opinion. You just shoot the enemy ships. Now, I say it's the easiest, but keep in mind, I had it on auto aim and auto control the entire time. You can select manual control. I didn't have the opportunity to try that, but in the future I'm going to try that and I'll let you know. The key to being a gunner on the Millennium Falcon is to be accurate. Every time you push that button, the laser cannon will fire. You want to take down those enemies who are around you, but holding it down the entire time, although you will be shooting the entire time, decreases your accuracy exponentially. If you just hold it down the entire time, you'll end up with a score close to 20%. How do I know this? I may have tried that on one of our runs on Smuggler's Run. Never again. I'm just gonna make sure I'm accurate next time. Last but not least, we come to the pilots on board the Millennium Falcon. In my opinion, this is the most fun job to have on board. You literally control the movements of the Millennium Falcon with your control stick. The pilot on the left controls the left and right movement of the ship with one single stick. You also control the brake. The pilot on the right controls the up and down movement, which is inverted, by the way, so up is down and down is up, like flying a plane, but with one stick instead of having the entire wheel. You also control the boost and the hyperdrive, which is so cool to pull, and just the ship takes off. That. Pull the hyperdrive. Being a pilot is tons of fun, but it does take some skill and some practice to master. And let me tell you, after sitting in the Falcon several times on this adventure, you definitely can crash. Absolutely. And if you crash, and you probably will, don't be too hard on yourself, especially that first run. If you do crash, you will feel it. The entire cabin lurches to the side, red lights flashing, small alarms going off. It is unbelievable. If you drag on the ground with the Falcon, you're going to feel the vibrations as you're dragging the Falcon on the ground. So remember, it takes a little bit of practice to get that one right, but once you have it down, it is so cool to fly the Falcon. If you're looking for some reference, just imagine Star Tours taken to the next level with control inside the cockpit. If you hit an antenna, you're going to feel that antenna. If you're going to hit the side of a wall, you're going to feel it. If you fly through an asteroid, which happened to me once and it was amazing, Honda will say amazing flying. So there are different things that can happen and your experience changes every single time. At the end of the mission, you actually earn credits depending on how you did. And when I saw the screen at first, I was thinking to myself, oh cool, that's a nice little thing. They say, oh, you earn these credits, and that's the end of it. I didn't realize that those credits actually correlate to your profile in the data pad. I remember when I first got into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and I was using the data pad, I had earned like 18 credits by scanning different boxes all around the line. Then I went on the ride, it was amazing, went on a few more times, and then left the land for the day. I made it back into the land on that second time we went in, and all of a sudden I look at my profile, I have 18,000 credits. Again, I have no idea what these credits are used for besides bragging rights, but if they are used for something that you can purchase in the land, isn't it cool that the credits that you earn in the ride actually correlate to something you can see in your game? It's amazing. It's so cool. One side note, I do recommend leaving the app open on your phone while you're in the Millennium Falcon. Even if it's in your pocket or in your purse, wherever it is, leave it on your phone so that the game recognizes that you played and you get those credits. I think that part is important. Once the mission is over and you have landed, unbuckle your seatbelt, step out of the Falcon, and you'll see that the Falcon, it looks a little bit different from when you stepped on board. There are panels missing, lights flickering, different things are happening all around you that indicate how you did on your mission. Most times when I left, there were some things flickering because we crashed the ship more than once. So it does depend on how you do, and it's a really cool effect. Once you exit Smuggler's Run, you'll be back in Batuu, and it may be time for some food. So let's go over some of the dining options inside Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. There are 2 dining locations at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, not considering Oguz Cantina for the moment. We'll come back to that. Ronto Roasters and Docking Bay 7. Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo is the main counter service location inside Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. You'll find different crates and bins that you're sitting on. Kind of looks like it was all put together last minute, even though if you look at those details, you can see it is extremely detailed. So cool. You could look around that building forever. The food I had there was good, not the best I ever had, but good. I tried the most popular item at Docking Bay 7, the smoked Kadu ribs. The taste was fantastic. Texture was really good, kind of falling off the bone. The only issue was that the bones were kind of broken up. I'm used to eating ribs, you know, standard ribs, but these ribs were like split into different pieces and cartilage pieces coming off. So maybe I got kind of a weird section, not too sure. I'll definitely try it again in the future, but it was good, but not the best. Next time we're in Black Spire Outpost, I want to try the Yab shrimp noodle salad. That sounds awesome. My friends June and Rachel tried the 2 desserts at Docking Bay 7 and told me it was good, but nothing really mind-blowing. If you're looking for some of the best food in the galaxy at the time of filming, look no further than next door at Ronto Roasters. The theming here is outstanding, with the smelter droid turning the meat and the pod racer engine kind of moving around as it's cooking the meat, which is so cool. The theming cannot be beat, and the food is delicious. Ronto Roasters has an extremely limited menu, but the Ronto wrap, which is their primary item, is absolutely fantastic. I love the taste of the sausage and the coleslaw in there with the pita bread. It is so good. My favorite drink at Ronto Roasters is the Tatooine Sunset. Not too sweet, but really refreshing. In addition to Docking Bay 7 and Ronto Roasters, there is another location in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge that serves drinks and a few small food items, which is why I don't consider it a counter service location. You may have heard of it before. Oguz Cantina. By far one of the most popular destinations at Black Spire Outpost, Oguz Cantina has a theme unlike any other. It's like they took that cantina from the movie and brought it to real life. I feel like I could see Greedo or Doc Ondor in the corner, maybe just Han Solo sitting around with Chewie in one of those booths. It is truly amazing. The bar itself is rather small, but to be honest with you, I really do like it like that. It feels like everything's kind of close together, not too much noise around you, people having conversations, but you don't have to shout to hear each other. I feel like Disney did a really good job with the number of people inside the bar. Looking at the taps at the bar, you can see they have all different alien-looking handles to them. Above, you'll see really cool creatures, different slime and goop at that bar area above. The music is thanks to a DJ that may look familiar to some of you. It's DJ Rex, the former captain of Star Tours, and I love to see his head bob with the beat, him changing the channel. It is so cool. Although it's not the Cantina Band song over and over again, it does play at least maybe once an hour or every 2 hours. I did catch it once during our adventure, and let me tell you, hearing that song in the cantina just, it fills me up with joy, just being like, oh my gosh, I'm in Star Wars right now. I'm in a galaxy far away. Over the course of the 2 times that we went into Oguz Cantina, I had the opportunity to try almost every single non-alcoholic drink on the menu, and I can tell you with confidence, they all could use improvement. I so wish that that was not the case, but they really all need improvement. Every single one that I tried, which is basically every single one on the menu, needs improvement. I really do believe that Disney will improve those drinks in the future, but it may take some time. Even though the drinks were only okay at best, Oguz Obsession, which is that jello with the boba pearls inside, and the Batu bits were really good. Oguz Obsession was super sweet but super refreshing, and those pop rocks on top definitely make it feel like it's from another planet. So cool. Batu bits was a huge medley of different items, from wasabi to barbecue to chocolate to sweet to chips. A total mix. I enjoyed both of those, but given my choice right now, I would take Oguz Obsession. Knowing what I know now, I am looking forward to going back to Oguz Cantina again in the future to get more of the Oguz Obsession and see the amazing theming. In addition to the ride and the food options, there's also Merchandise Row, and the first stop right next to Merchandise Row between Ronto Roasters and the merchandise shops is Katsaka's Kettle. Katsaka's Kettle is where you'll find that special Outpost popcorn mix, which has this really interesting taste of sweet and spicy. Imagine Fruity Pebble Sriracha. I really enjoyed it. Inside Merchandise Row, you'll find the Toydarian Toy Maker, Creature Stall, and so much more. Several of those items were very interesting, but nothing that I felt I really had to have. The only item that you know I really had to have was DJ Rex, that's right behind me. That comes from the Droid Depot. The Droid Depot, which is located near the center entrance of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Disneyland, is where you can build your own custom droid. I thought for the longest time that we would be building one, but I changed my mind and got Rex instead, and I absolutely love him. The fact that he is a speaker is the coolest part, and I do recommend getting Rex. If you're thinking about it, Rex is just so cool. He may not move around as well as some of the droids that you can make inside the Droid Depot, but the fact that he's a speaker is the coolest coolest part. Next to the Droid Depot, there's another location that we did not have the opportunity to see on this adventure, but I guarantee you we will see it on another adventure. That's Savis Workshop, where you can find those custom-made $200 lightsabers that you get to build. I had the opportunity to hold several custom-built lightsabers, and one guest even opened it up for me so I can see how the kyber crystal changes the color of the entire lightsaber inside. They also told me the experience is one of a kind and truly worth it. I'm looking forward to experiencing that with you once we open Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Walt Disney World. A few steps next to Savi's Workshop, you'll find Doc Ondor's Den of Antiquities, and they have some amazing things inside. From different robes to legacy lightsabers and even those special kyber crystals that go in your custom-made lightsabers, Doc Ondor's has some really cool things. Now, many of the items in that store are rather expensive, so just be ready for that as you walk in. Just know this is a more expensive location. The merchandise at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is themed specifically for the land, as if you just landed at Black Spire Outpost. These are the items that you would expect to see. Now, the only things that really grabbed my attention were the idea of building your own droid, like Rex, where you can actually buy him. I didn't build him, and the idea of building your own lightsaber, which I will do in the future. Those are the only things that really grabbed my attention. The other things were cool, but nothing that I felt like was a must-have for me anyway. Overall, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge was truly an incredible experience. In my opinion, one of the best lands that Disney has added to their parks in a long time. The ride was spectacular. The Ronto wrap at Ronto's Roasters was really good, but the best part, in my opinion, is the theming. The theming is out of this world and truly takes you out of reality and brings you in to Star Wars. They did an incredible job with the theming. After experiencing Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, I know it will bring smiles to guests for generations to come. Those are my thoughts. I would love to hear from you. Which part of our adventure to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge looked the most exciting to you? Was it piloting the Falcon, or going to see Rex play in Oguz Cantina, or maybe just eating a Ronto wrap? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being a part of the magic with me. Until next time, have a magical day.